So
Modern day Turkey is wild.
it's weird,
Because
right?
if you look at ancient Turkey, like if you look at like Baalbek and Lebanon, you look at those areas, like a lot of people think Turkey, where Göbekli Tepe, they think that might have been the origin of civilization. That, you know, it wasn't Egypt, like it predates even that. It might have been there.
Well, they're creating sundials there. Like, it's so
And also,
sophisticated.
how weird is it that part of the world, that the Middle East, is where you get all this Sumerian stuff, which is just, I mean, I watched a whole documentary the other night on the Sumerian kings list, which is just like, what is this? Because it's both accurate and mythical at the same time. So you have people that are kings that live 40,000 years plus, and you have 8 kings that are documented, and some of them are real. Some of them are real, and the time that they reigned corresponded with a real, normal, biological human life. But then you have ones that were before the Great Flood that don't. They're really long and crazy, and you just go, okay, what was going on?
Yeah.
And it sounds insane that people could live for 30,000 years, but it doesn't. Here's why it doesn't. What we can do now, just a rudimentary stuff that we can do now, prolongs physical health far beyond where it ever was before. And then when you're talking about stuff like hyperbaric chamber therapy, there was a study out of Jerusalem, I believe it was, where they did a protocol where they put people on hyperbaric treatment. There was 90 days. They had to do 60 sessions in 90 days. At the end of those 60 sessions, they measured their telomeres. Their telomeres, which is a direct sign of cellular aging. The shorter your telomeres are, the closer you are to death. Their telomeres had lengthened that was...
No way.
Yes, that was commensurate with a 20-year difference in their age.
What?
Yes.
Lengthened?
Yes.
I didn't know you could lengthen telomeres.
I've done it. I've done that therapy. I did that exact therapy. Yeah. I've done it a couple times. But I did it I was like, okay, let me give this a chance. And I went to this hyperbaric place, and it was so boring. I just lying in there for 90 minutes, go get me out of there. Thankfully, you can use your phone, but that fucking fully sketches me out. Because like if there's a spark that goes off, then you blow. People have died in those things.
Oh, no.
Yeah. A child died in one fairly recently because of static from the blanket ignited the oxygen.
Oh, God.
It's very scary stuff.
Horrible.
Because you're in a super high oxygenated, high pressure environment that's equal to what I do is 2 altitudes. So 2 Earth altitudes, and you do it for 90 minutes. So we know about that. We also know about NMN and a lot of the work that David Sinclair has been doing out of Harvard. We know that they've been able to take mice and make mice behave like younger mice by switching their blood to the blood of younger mice. We're real close to being able to do weird shit right now.
Yes.
And there's a lot of people that believe that if you can make it to 90 right now, you're going to be able to make it to like 300 years old. So if that's the case, let's imagine that a society, let's be open-minded, and a society as sophisticated as the people that lived in Africa that were able to move stones that weighed 80, 90 tons, 500 miles through the mountains with no roads, perfectly align them to true north, south, east, and west, 2,300,000 stones in one pyramid alone. And now there's real evidence that there's structures under the pyramids that might go as deep as 2 kilometers.
That look like an energy grid with
columns and coils around the columns. And like, what? So if they were capable of doing that, imagine what their health technology was.
Yeah.
Maybe they had cracked all the things that we cracked plus 1,000 years.
You know, I just interviewed the guy that did the synthetic aperture radar scans.
The Italian guys?
Yeah, the Italian guys. I went to Italy, actually.
Oh.
Filippo Biondi.
There are these structures, tubes, huge tubes that are descending underneath, and we have noticed that these tubes has a sort of spiral nature. We have measured approximately over 1 kilometer of depth.
Over a kilometer of depth?
Over depth, yeah.
Wow. And I came in not knowing, you know, how serious or rigorous he was. And I came out being like, this guy does, I'm pretty sure he couldn't really talk about it, but work with the Italian military. And so this thing, synthetic aperture radar Doppler tomography, is used in commercial use cases where money is on the line. It's used to map magma chambers inside volcanoes, and I think it's used in some like spooky military use cases where people's lives are on the line.
Yeah, they want to find where the bunkers are. Yeah,
100%.
100%.
And so you can chat GPT this stuff, but because there's not a ton of data on the instrumentation, and it'll spit out all sorts of wrong answers. But I felt like I went pretty deep with this guy, and there is 100% something underneath the pyramids in that shape. The coils, the columns. He doesn't know what the material is. He's very honest about that. He doesn't know what the function is. Is it the Christopher Dunn hydrogen power plant thing? He doesn't know. But there is something underneath there, and it's 8 columns, and they're coiling. And he says he goes a kilometer deep. He says tens of meters is where they're high confidence, but he says 1,000 meters.
Just the columns.
Yeah. It's just the columns. Yeah, it's insane.
That's so wild.
It's wild.
And there's something underneath them.
And there's something. Is that foundation? Yeah.
So at the bottom we probably have huge chambers for approximately 80 meters of width and also of height, 80 meters.
Wow.
On the bottom.
On the bottom.
Yes.
And so what is that? That's like the kind of foundation structure on which the tubes
probably because we are observing that the tubes are connected to the respective top of this structure. They are connected and goes inside.
Wow.
Also.
What?
It's so crazy.
How did you do that?
Yeah, and through a water
this
table.
Is my point.
Yeah.
If longevity science is real today.
Yeah.
And we get to a point where you can live for 1,000 years. Here's the problem with education. You have to reteach all these new fucking kids. Every year you have to teach new people new things, right? If you have people that are thousands of years old, imagine, and no deterioration mentally, imagine how much you can discover. Imagine how much you can apply. If there's no diminishing of your faculties, you're hit 500-600 years old, and you're still fully engulfed in whatever discipline you're doing. You know, can you imagine if you gave these guys that are working on, you know, quantum entanglement, give them thousands of years to work on that. Give them unlimited funds. Give them the mental clarity of a young person 1,000 years old. That's probably how you get the pyramids.